Welcome back, YouTube. I'm Steven, the Idaho Fabricator. I'm glad you're in the shop today because we're going to get back on Project 53. I know it's been a while, but
So what are you going to be doing?
well, glad you asked. Good question.
I know. Full of good questions.
Originally, guys, I was planning on putting the master cylinder for the brakes down under the frame down here, and the problem was that it was going to interfere with my exhaust system and things were going to be really tight under there. So what I decided to do is I'm going to mount it up on the firewall. And so today we're going to do that. I'm going to show you how you do that.
Okay, that sounds pretty
So
clever.
this is the booster, and you can get an idea just from this here how much room this thing would take up if it was underneath here, down underneath the frame in there. In fact, I can hardly get it in there. It's just really tight quarters. So I'm going to mount it up here.
Oh, so what's the plan?
Well, here's the plan. Let me show you the bracket inside the truck here. So let's get in, turn on all my flashlights so everybody can see good. I hope you guys can see this good. But here's the hanging pedal system. I ordered this pedal system from a company called Classic Performance Products.
Let me go around to the other side.
All right. It's the same company I got the master cylinder and brake booster from. So here's your hanging brake pedal, and this little deal right here is for your brake switch, and it obviously it mounts to the firewall. And then if you come up on top here, show them up on top, you can see where these brackets mount exactly where the original factory brackets mount.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you still can utilize this dash brace underneath here.
Oh, that's good. So it
So-
doesn't go to waste.
Gives it a little bit more strength. Now I put this piece of 2-inch pipe in here just to give me a visual on the steering column to make sure that I had this bracket in the right place. Because when you order this bracket, they don't really give you any instructions. I guess they figure you can figure it out.
Okay.
But they do have some instructions on their website, but it's for a different model Chevy truck with a flat firewall. It doesn't have these ribs on it. And they don't really show you where to put it. They just kind of show you just bolting it on. So
So you
today
have
I'm going to show you what I did to figure this out. And so I think you really need a piece of pipe or a steering column, whatever. Make sure you got it the right distance away. And then I'm just using these Harbor Freight magnets to hold it in place while I do some measuring. So let me show you up on the bench some of the things that I did. So when you order that hanging pedal kit, they send you this, and this comes in a bag. And according to their website, the purpose of this is to act as a shim to take up for the height of these ribs. Okay?
Okay.
But I preliminarily found the place where the center is. It's about here. And so if you put this in there and get it centered, it means that you'd have to cut these in half and put one piece on this side, one piece on this side. And the only thing I can figure with this piece here is it goes on the inside of the cab and fills in inside of that. So when you bolt it together, it clamps it. Well, this is hokey pokey, guys. All right. So I'm going to show you what I came up with to make it look really cool and super clean. Hey, I forgot to show you a couple things. I was telling you that the instructions online for this custom performance products for this installation, they're using a flat firewall, and they don't really give you any measurement guidelines. You just kind of say, hold it up there and drill a hole and, call it good. So I did some research online on eBay, or not on eBay, on Google, and I came up with another company called Performance Online. Let me show everybody this, okay? And as you can see, this shows the ribs. The bracket that this company sells looks almost exactly like the bracket that I got from that other company. So I have a hunch that they're probably subcontracted out by the same company. This is just my thoughts on it. So, but let me show you which is kind of cool. Okay, so you can see here they give you 8 3/8 from these are the holes that mount the hood hinge on. And then this is that seam on the top of the firewall, and they say it's 6 inches down. So let me show you over here really quick, guys, how really close this is. So I went ahead and fitted it inside the cab where I thought it's supposed to go, okay? And so if I take this square and I marked here 8 3/8, and then you can see up here 6 inches right to there, and right where it intersects,
So it's perfect.
there's the mark, and there's where I'm at inside the cab. So I'm really close.
Yeah.
So this is a good reference idea, and at least I know that I'm in the ballpark, that I've got it pretty close, and I think it's gonna, I feel better knowing that I got a reference.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I did there. And so now what I'm going to do, let me show you this. This little wooden block comes in handy. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Oh man, that knee surgery's a killer. So I'm going to take this little deal, and I'm going to line this. I'm just lining this plastic up with the edge of these holes. Okay, the idea is I just want this to be, whoops, maybe it's not going to work. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, stay there.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to hold it. The reason I'm doing this is I want to make sure that because these edges are all rounded, I just want to make sure that this is going to be 90 degrees in. And then I'm going to take this little wooden deal here, and I'm going to look in there to see the hole. And then I'm going to make a mark. And make a mark. Ah, darn it. Okay, I know I'm pretty close here. Okay, so I'm going to cut a slot here, and then in between there, hammer and dolly those down, and then this thing's going to fit flat. So that's the plan.
Okay.
All right?
It works.
All right, so let me get my gear, and we'll start cutting. Okay, guys, I made the cut. It's about 3/16, maybe a little bigger. But so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to use my camera person, Sally, to hold this dolly on the back side of the firewall, and I'm going to hammer it down flat. And I don't think you need to watch. It's just hammering and flattening steel. So,
How much am I getting paid for this?
oh, tons.
Manual labor.
Tons, yeah. Plus, just the personal satisfaction knowing that you had a part in project transformation.
Oh, makes me feel
Yeah.
so good and tingly inside.
Well,
Thanks,
I'm a
hon.
giver,
I-
so.
Okay.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna do some hammering and we'll be back. Okay, guys, here I've got the slots cut. And this is the piece, and as you can see, it's gonna fit flat against the firewall, which is what I wanted. And one of the things that I learned doing this was I cut this too wide. I thought that because this came up and over that it would lengthen as it came together, but I was wrong. So I got a little bit of a space to fill up, not a big deal. And then I'm going to fill these and transition these nice. Same thing here. This one I kept a little tighter, and I'll be able to weld that up. It'll look nice. So unfortunately, my camera person just deserted me. She's doing yard work. I mean, what's more important, yard work or fabricating? I put this little curved line here because I only need to fill from here to here. The rest of this is just going to be a big hole where the master cylinder booster is going to go through. So I'm going to get welded on this, guys, and when we come back, I'll show you what it's going to look like. Ooh.
All right, you guilted me. I'm back in. I'll leave the gardening for later. So what's next?
Well, I wasn't able to film all my welding because I was down a body.
Oh yeah, wah, wah, wah.
So
Okay.
anyway, guys, here's what it looks like, and get the light in here. So I got a nice transition here and here and over here.
Looks nice.
And then I was not going to fill all of this, but I realized that I need to fill it because I have to locate the hole saw. And I need something to drill through to locate the hole saw. So, and then this plate. So I'm not really worried about, this looks a little, it's not perfect, but it doesn't matter because this is all going away with a hole saw, and this other stuff is covered up by the plate. And then I am going to weld this plate. I'm going to drill some holes in the sheet metal, and then from the back side, inside the cab, I'm going to actually weld this to the firewall. So this will always be in place.
It'll be nice and clean looking.
Yeah. So now, what I have to do, turn off this light, save the battery. And if you remember on this piece of paper here, I went through and I found where I thought it ought to go. And then I found this online from Performance Online website, and it looks a lot like my firewall. So, and the bracket, oh, I know what I want to show you guys. I had to take that bracket out to do the welding and stuff. So I thought it'd be a good time to show you what this thing looks like. So these pieces up here mount to where the steering column mounts. And then this piece back here against the firewall. And then they got nice bronze bushings in here. So it's real smooth. Oops. So it's really smooth. And then this is where this clip fits in. And then the steering column goes in between. So it's a pretty nice setup. You get a pedal with it too. They gave you a nice billet aluminum pedal. And for 149 bucks, and they've already figured it all out. It's all laser cut.
It looks well made.
Yeah, it's for me, it's not worth my time to fab all this up. So anyway, I wanted to show you this bracket. It's pretty nice. So you can put your master cylinder on the firewall. So I'll show you that. So now what I got to do, so we were back here on this, and I determined that when I just eyeballed it from inside the cab and found the spot where I thought it ought to go, and I transferred that measurement out, it almost exactly matches this. Let me show you. So I no longer have these reference, I know that it's in the center line of this, and it's 1.5 inches over, and I know it's, let's see, where is it? 8 3/8 from the center of this hood hinge bolt hole to there, and then from this edge here, which is this edge here, the sheet metal edge here, it's 6 inches down. So I take my square, and let me mark it here. Oh, I already, so I line up 6 inches there, and then I already marked it on this square. I hope you can see it. So 8 3/8 from there, 6 inches from there, and that means that is where the holes, the center of the hole should be. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So I think the best plan of action, and then just to double check to make sure that I'm because if you look here, it shows this center line right here. Okay, so that would be the center of this bracket bolt holes. So what they're saying is that line there should go right down the center of these bolt holes. So if I put this on and I kind of center these in those holes, take my little cheat stick, my flashlight, there should be, oh, there's a hole right there. Okay, so that lines up there, and they're a little over, but like I said, that's where it fit the best for my application. Anyway, that's going to work just perfect. So I'm going to drill that hole.
So measure twice, cut once.
Yeah, exactly. Now, another thing that I discovered was, if you look at all these instructions, both the ones that they have online and even this one here, it says to drill a 2-inch hole. Okay, well, that's not going to work because this rubber boot is a little bigger than 2 inches. So I'm going to just drill it this hole here, which is 2 5/16.
So there won't be any wiggle room?
So there'll be a little bit more wiggle room. I don't have to worry about the boot getting cut or chafed on the
Oh, okay.
on the hole. So
All right.
that's my plan. So I got my 2 5/16 hole saw. And we're gonna drill a hole. Oops, that's weird. That's like never happened before. Yeah, I'm going the right way. Huh. Thought I had that locked down, but I was wrong.
Someone like you.
Boy, that's nice and loud. I think I'm going to put some happy juice on it. A little bit of cutting oil so it doesn't destroy my eardrums. It's not very thick, but 16 gauge, you'd think it'd drill right through it. Yeah, on the right setting.
There you go.
A perfect hole. And another free washer.
Oh, yard art.
I'll recycle it in there. All right, let's see how this holds. Okay, I'll give it a little deburring action. And that'll clean it up. It's a beautiful thing. Need my deburring tool. Get under there. All right. Plenty of room for the master cylinder.
That looks nice.
Yeah. That'll fit through there. I think what I'm going to do now, find my Sharpie. Where's my Sharpie?
It's over there on the table.
Oh. All right. And I'm going to put a hole there, 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 and there. And then I'll drill holes. And then on the back side, on the inside, I'll do a little rosette weld through the firewall into this, hold it in place. And I'm thinking that I'm trying to think if I should drill these holes first and use some bolts to hold this tight to the sheet metal so I can weld it. All right, well, I'm going to get set up, and when I get back, we're going to weld this on. All right, we're back. I want to show you what I did and how I did it. So I marked this one hole here and put a 5/16 bolt through to kind of hold it in place, and then a clamp to kind of hold it. And then I spent some time making sure that it was straight the way I wanted it. And then I used a this guy here. You guys have seen this before, an alignment punch. And I just went inside here and used it to mark the center line, the centers. And then I drill a pilot hole in, and now I'm going to drill these out to the size I want and deburr them, and then I'm going to weld this plate on there. So I think I'm going to take this clamp off. I don't want to get any shavings underneath that plate. I want to make sure that it sits, you know, flat against the sheet metal. So definitely going to need a wrench. There it is. I was thinking about something. I just wanted to mention it to you guys. You know, once I flatten this firewall out, oh well, I got more bolts. Once I flatten this firewall out, I probably could have just mounted the booster on this sheet metal. But when I was in high school, I had a Jeep and I put hanging pedals on it. And I had a ton of firewall flex. And so I like the idea of this on here because it adds a lot of rigidity to the firewall. And that coupled with the bracket that goes up to the dash, this will be a really solid foundation. But I did want to mention that once you flatten this out, I guess you wouldn't have to use this, but I like it, so I'm going to use it. So let me drill these holes out to the right size. And then these holes here are the ones that I'm going to weld on the back side to hold the plate on. So I'm going to go one size bigger than 5/16 because I just want a little wiggle room. Make sure that everything nice thing about having that big hole in the center is I can reach in here and yeah, I can get the nut on. One. Another one. Oh, I was going to mention, when I was marking these holes for this is something that I learned a long time ago. Don't drill all the holes at once. Drill one, double check your location, mark, clamp, then mark your other holes, and then drill them. If you mark them all at once, they never line up. It's like Murphy's Law. Let's see, I have a washer, but I don't know where it went. Oh, there it is. Yeah, with the nuts inside, of course. Yep. There it is. Can't remember which one. Oh, that one. Come on, come on. Okay, I'm going to get these tightened up. I'm going to go back underneath, weld this in place, and then we're going to install the master cylinder. See you in a bit. Hey guys, check it out. they're, ooh, I can hear better now. There it is in place. I got the welded on the back side, so the plate is part of the dash, or the firewall. And I slipped the bracket back up under there, and it's time to mount up the power brake booster. Hope it fits.
Better.
All right, so
Is that magnet going to be in the way?
no.
Aha.
Oh yeah, baby.
There you go.
All right, so let me get some nuts started. Can you hold that for
Yep.
me? Because I'm probably going to have to wiggle it and jiggle it.
Have you got it right set up?
Yeah. What? Can't believe you asked me.
I know. Silly me. Do I need to hold it anymore?
No, you can let go. It's not going to go in you right now. I hope. Ew. Man. Okay.
Again?
And I got to hook up the lever here. And I got to remember how to do it. Now I remember now. So you pull this little pin out here. This is pretty clever, guys. Look at this, fits through the deal, and then this part up on top snaps around the shaft. I like it when they think things out like that. Yeah, just have to. There it goes. All right, now you can show them what it looks like in there.
Looks nice.
Yeah. And then out here, this looks pretty good. Let's mount the master cylinder on, so we can take in the full
Full effect.
effect.
Here, want me to hold those?
No, I got it.
Okay. Not gonna drop them and lose them?
I'm not gonna drop them. Man, I'm a professional. Give it a little snug.
Look at that. Ooh, let me do a walkabout. All bright and shiny.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
Yeah, good job, honey.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, guys. Master cylinder on the firewall, Project 53. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate the subscriptions and the likes. It helps my channel grow. And I guess till next time, be safe in the shop. Have a good time today, and I'll see you next time at Idaho Fabricator.